Welcome back to more Dracula Origins.
It consists of an opening system for the crypt's grate. Try to figure it out.
This puzzle is pretty fun, actually. So what you have to do here is you hover your cursor over the top symbols. You'll see they reveal different parts of the picture down here. So you want to take this arm, for instance, and click it. This dark patch here is here. You can see the pauldron of his left shoulder. So you want to click that. This is actually down here. And then this is this section. So once you have these blanked out, you want to actually find a pattern where you can line this movable thing up with it. So here, for instance, we have a matching symbol, matching symbol, matching symbol, matching symbol from left to right. So then you take the color coordinates up here and you change them to the correct color that you see on the map. The triangle map, we'll call it. Then reset it and look on the right side. We got that part, that part. And again, you're going to match it up with where it corresponds. You'll see we have this symbol here, and two blanks. We want to change this to green, and then gray, red, then gray.
Open.
Easy as goblin pie. No, not really. Took me quite a bit to kind of just figure out the different mechanisms of it, so. But a very cool, devious puzzle.
This must be the castle's crypt without a doubt. Careful. It could be that a demon is still within.
Once you know the mechanics, however, pretty easy. Alright, down here in the dank crypt of Dracula and his other fiends. Mona. 12176.
Some numbers have been inscribed recently with blood. I can make out 12176. This creature was named Mona.
Mona.
It is the skeleton of a woman, dead for a long time. A vampire, as evidenced by her two canines.
In opening the coffin of the crypt of Castle Dracula, I was stupefied to find the skeleton of a vampire, surely dead for several centuries. The woman was named Mona. She had red hair. On her tomb, someone had recently inscribed the numbers 12176 with blood. Want to make sure you view the coffins here.
Nothing of interest.
I ran into an issue with a puzzle coming up because I did not look at the coffin and then look more at the coffin. So you got to look at it and then you got to look at it again.
I can read the number 8954 written in blood.
And you got to look at their name.
The name of this deceased is Ilona.
So you need that piece of information. Then you can rip this shit open.
It is the skeleton of an antediluvian woman, with bones and hair bleached by time, and with oversized canines.
And as long as you get those two passages, you should be okay. So we have the numbers 12176 and 8954.
This coffin is indisputably the property of Dracula. I must destroy it in order to prevent him from rejuvenating.
Count Dracula is a vampire. In order to destroy this creature of evil forever, it's imperative to destroy all possible locations of rejuvenation, notably the coffin in which he rests during the day. Let's smash the shit out of it. One-shotted.
My friend, my faithful disciple, I only hope that you did not see Mina in the arms of this monster.
It is our friend Jonathan
This
Harker.
bird has been drained of blood. Why, Harker's glasses? Oh, my poor friend. A book on chivalry. Curious. Could it be that Harker found something in this book?
For doesn't all faith welcome all others to its bosom? For isn't it the essential purpose of our devotion towards God but to affirm our unique yet at the same time universal nature? This was in effect the most striking thing for the holy armies who departed to spread the word of God in the pagan lands. Battling anew, killing or being killed, so that at last the startling truth would shine forth. The word of God was already there awaiting his servants for centuries. Filled with an unwavering and diving conviction, we proceeded to impose the singularity of our faith through war. Yet it was peace that imposed this now faith in us, God on us, a faith that we discovered to be universal, a glowing symbol of this universality and timelessness of God which transcends us to the Palor shield, vestige of an antediluvian civilization, and passed through time like other monuments or statuettes. How it came to be the arm of the Christian that it saved in the clash of battle, no one knows. But from then on, it passed from father to son, from night to night. It was by manipulating it through chance during the course of an evening of lectures and prayers that the presence of God nestled in the heart of this weapon for centuries manifested itself. An old allegory describes this miracle. The spirit in the ether turned towards the divine, the infallible Philotimos manipulated his weapons as a child would a bell, crossing the two moons and aiming arrows so that the golden darts target the neighboring silver, and that a silver in this turn points towards a nearby bronze. A riddle of some sort, probably. He listened dreamily to the chant of the chaplain, who reminded the sacred souls of this sermon. The first words of God barely spoken, and the celestial rays shot forth, blinding them and throwing them into panic. All prostrated when miraculously day broke in the middle of the night. The divine light slept. We called it shone.
Useless.
Don't talk about your friend that way.
Harker's journal. He would have wanted to fight to the bitter end.
It ails me to write this morning. What is this unbearable pain and paralysis of all my limbs? I have fits of nausea, and I feel my skin and my face pulling to the point of cracking, and I feel like... That's it, I am cursed. I've just touched my neck, and the sticky wound there leaves no doubt as to what's happened to me. While sadness assails me, I am so cold and scared. My God, Mina, my love, that I have now lost forever. I have but confused recollections of what transgressed last night. I waited Count Dracula in order to finally challenge him, but the shadow that followed me endlessly, laughing and wild, threw itself on me. A creature from hell, a succubus. I felt her naked body next to me, and her giant titties, and I felt the evil. I thought I could defend myself, but her strength and boobies were immense. She laughed as only a demon can laugh, as she condemned me to hell with the force of her canines. I'm ashamed to say I experienced ecstasy. I came 12 times last night. I, who came to combat evil, took pleasure in my own defeat. Despite this force that drives me to drink human blood, I cannot resolve myself to give into this atrocious act. The blood of creatures from the forest appeases the pain, but for how much longer? I must fight with all my might of my conscience as long as I can, and take precautions to not commit the irreparable under my hunger impetuous. My black-haired initiator gave me orders from our master. Begin the classification of works in the library. They must think that I have gotten through the transition and that I am now one of them, but my soul still resists the call from the nothingness. In this library can certainly be found secrets regarding my curse. I must find them at the earliest, not for myself who can no longer be saved, but for those who will certainly come here one day and try to succeed where I failed. I discovered a work that mentions an ancient artifact,
Pelor, the shield of the sun. The origin of this shield has been lost in the night of time and rises again in the ancient pagan civilization. Nonetheless, the work in question confirms its sacred characteristic, and even describes it as a symbol of Christian faith of an ancient order of knights. A more recent book written 2 centuries ago by a wandering priest seems to designate Transylvania as the last region where one would see a knight carrying it as his arms. Could it be that place, a demon, the weapon together at once would combat him? But it's said in the same book that a multitude of shields inspired by this legendary weapon were forged, and it would take ingenuity to designate the original object. It's time to put our friend to rest.
Rest in peace, my friend. Bizarre. This painting seems to have a religious theme. Fiat lux. Let there be light.
On the remnants of a half-burned wooden panel, no doubt from the furnishings of a chapel, which was engraved in depicting Genesis, I was able to discern the etching of a text as if from celestial beings, Fiat Lux.
The remains of a half-charred tapestry. It originally depicted a half-circle of young knights, seen from the front, bearing their shields and raising high their swords, with Lord Dracula at the center of it all. The symbol of the Order of the Dragon, a Christian order of which the family of Count Vlad Tepes, Count Dracula, was a part. One of the knights carries on his arm a pink ribbon.
In the hall, I was able to inspect the remainders of a half-charred but interesting tapestry, depicted a half-circle of young knights seen from the front bearing their shields and holding high their swords. Dracula is visible in his entirety, the shield with the dragon arms. But the other knights have been partially or entirely burnt, leaving, however, the ability to see their shields as well as ribbons at their arms, the token of a lady's love. One of the knights, the golden armor and very unique shield, is carrying around his arm a ribbon the color of rose.
Curious. There is something here.
An extra long cord that I shall take.
Curtain cords, really quite long. This painting is radically different from the others. This young woman, full of joy and happiness, contrasts with the style of the other paintings. Curious. The right hand of the young woman and what she was holding have been scratched off to the point that there is nothing visible on this part of the painting. Ah, I see some ancient traces of paint. The object that one wished to make disappear was of a dazzling pink.
The painting behind the curtains. We have other paintings here.
This woman is of a captivating beauty, but a strange inquietude is visible in her eyes. This splendid young woman was called Ilona. A portrait of Dracula. The splendor of the colors and the quality of detail suggest that the painting was done recently. This ravishing young girl possessed magnificent flaming red hair. Mona, a pretty name for a beautiful creature.
And once you get that entry, you are set up to complete a puzzle coming up. I wasn't able to get this entry the first time I was trying this puzzle because I did not read the top of those coffins correctly and look at them a second time. Hello.
That's who turned
Back,
Jonathan Harker.
succubus. May the instrument of Christ's torment be my sanctuary.
At least he got to hit it.
How can you be scared of a weak woman, sire? Why don't you leave these outdated religious principles behind and get to know each other?
You do not interest me, vampire. Not now. I have
Maybe
come for
later.
your master. Where is he?
He's amusing himself with his latest plaything. When he is done, he'll come by my side, and we, as lovers, will put you in your place.
He will come to your side? You obviously do not know what he is doing at this moment, do you?
Stop being insolent, human! You think you know more than me? Who do you think you are?
Someone who knows Count Dracula as one knows his worst enemy. Someone who tells you that tonight, if I do not stop him, your master will bring back his only love from the dead, at the exorbitant price of the whole human species. Your fiancé will vanish at the same time as your quarry.
Nonsense, you filthy mortal! I spent exactly 5,777 nights next to my lord, and I am his soulmate. He chose to be with me forever.
Regardless what you believe, demon, I must destroy Dracula tonight, and you will be powerless to prevent me. I must find a way to neutralize this vampire. I must penetrate his lair.
So we have 3 sets of numbers from 3 women. 2 dead in coffins and the one we just talked to.
This armory's keyhole is protected by this enormous combination lock. I must find which... I am missing...
And this
I
is the
am
message
missing-
I kept getting for not reading the coffins, but we have a bit more to do. We have to understand the nature of those 3 numbers. And little Igor here owes us a favor.
Ta. Yummy. I owe you, mister.
What do these numbers under the coffins in the crypt signify?
Master's favorites. They held on for many nights before they went crazy, and his lordship liberated them with his blessing.
Answer me, man. Do you know the combination of the armory's grate in the Grand Hall?
3 times the nights with a white moon, plus 2 times the nights with a red moon, plus 5 times the nights with a black moon.
Well, I will look further.
So he's describing the hair color of the 3 women. So you just multiply their numbers by the number of nights. He said 3 times nights with the white moon. 3 times 8,954 is 26,862. 2 times the night with the red moon. 2 times 12,176 is 24,352. And then he says 5 times the night with the black moon. Well, we talked with Jada, the vampiress that's still alive. She said 5,777 nights times 5 is 28,885. The coachman, Igor, here says that we have to add those together for the grand total of 80,099.
This armor... There. Perfect.
5,777 days divided by 365 is almost 16 years.
This coat of mail is too large for me, but it could, however, offer good protection. A crossbow. That is the ideal weapon. Sadly, there is no bowstring. All of these shields are alike. It is because the Collector is researching Pelor, the Shield of the Sun.
The shields don't really look alike at all. According to my friend Harker's journal, Pelor, the Shield of the Sun, is in Transylvania. According to the description in Brother Belgos' journal, based on the prodigious collection of the shields I found in the arsenal of Count Dracula, it is here, in the very abode of the monster that it must destroy. I have only to identify it. Okay, the shield in the center here looks the closest to the picture on the tapestry. We just have to get it to match.
Pelor, the legendary shield. I found it.
Oh, okay. We got it.
Now I must find something to attract the beast.
How about a bowl of blood?
Fiat Lux.
You shall be cursed, and may you and your race rot like carrion under the burning sun. I will hunt you down. I will find you, and I will make of your short existence a hell of suffering. I will rip out your eyes, ears, and nails.
No, you won't. I burnt that bitch up.
Ah, how dreadful.
Got dead people everywhere, man. Arms and shit.
This mandolin has not been used for ages, but the strings are in good shape. I am in need of something. This pot of grease, despite its vile smell, could be handy. I'm taking it.
Got more possible Dracula coffins here. Need to take care of these.
Perfect. Perfect. A painting depicting Jada when she was human. She was a lovely, timid, brown-haired girl with an angelic look. She was called Jada Dahmer. Poor child.
Jeffrey Dahmer's sister. Kind of hot. Let hair habs go, though.
A key. What can it open?
A lock.
There, a book.
That he who attaches himself to the services of the ethereal spirit shall thusly possess a strength of uncommon degree. Fogs and emanations have nothing to fear from the living. No weapon or gun held by the hand of a man will be able to reach them or make them flee. Only the elemental forces, the terrestrial powers that come from the center of the earth or flow from the skies can create doubt in depths of these black souls and sometimes even destroy them.
With this, I can cut one of the strings.
All right, we got a working crossbow.
It's the apocalypse. The ritual has begun. And this green cloud, they are the damned souls awaiting their return to Earth. And, oh, Mina! She is under the demon's power, behind the swarm of ethereal figures. I must make my way to her.
Must save Mina!
It is an immense bookcase panel. This bookcase goes up to the ceiling, and the top is metal. It charges with electricity when lightning strikes. This bookcase is movable. I could push it, but the mechanism seems to be jammed. There. Perfect. It is moving. Perfect.
Quite easily, I must say. A nice full moon.
This statue is made entirely of metal.
We need to make some electricity.
This can conduct electricity.
Yes, it can. Forget about wearing it against the count. It won't help us.
This can conduct electricity.
Bzzz.
Before confronting Count Dracula, I must be armed with the only weapon that will stop this vampire. Now I can pass, or rather, jump. Before confronting Count Dracula, I must be armed with the only weapon that will stop this vampire.
A special arrow. Oh, come on, man. There you go. He would have turned to mist and at least tried to retreat to his coffin.
Professor.
It's you! It's delightful to see you again. But look at the state you're in. Here. Give me your coat. Would you care for a drink?
I'll take a few.
Pleasure. I will be needing something warm in this weather. So, stay by the fire a few minutes.
The Count isn't dead. And yes, there is a sequel to this game. That's Dracula Origin, inspired by the book Dracula, written by Bram Stoker. Quite a cool game. I enjoyed this one. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it on our bomb number 2 for this Ronst October. Happy Hooper Hopperine. Welcome to the Halloween Ghetto. Enjoy some credits. Thought the musical score was good. Graphics were delightful. Voice acting was pretty good. Character animation's obviously a little wonky, but 2008, 11-year-old game. Point-and-click adventures don't really focus on that aspect of graphics anyways. They're much more into, obviously, the backdrops and all the nice hand-painted and drawn-out backgrounds. The puzzles are obviously a step up from Unavowed, our last LP here. Makes the game much more enjoyable when you gotta think a little bit more. And some I needed help with.